So you're thinking about starting a business with ZenBusiness? You've probably seen their promo codes floating around, but what's the real deal with them? Today, we're gonna tear down the numbers, look at the fine prints, and figure out exactly what these deals are all about. Let's dive in. All right, let's cut right to the chase. When you see a ZenBusiness promo code, how much cash are you actually keeping in your pocket? How much money are you really saving when all is said and done? We've dug through all the offers to get you a straight answer. Here's our game plan for today. First, we'll cover what these codes actually are, then we'll jump straight into the hard numbers. After that, we'll talk about how you can use these savings in the real world, check out the pros and the catches, and then we'll give you our final take. All right, first things first, what even are these codes? Before we get into all the percentages and dollar signs, let's just quickly define what we're talking about here. Okay, so at its heart, a ZenBusiness promo code is actually pretty simple. It's basically a deal that gives you one of two things, either a percentage knocked off the price or a straight up flat dollar amount taken off specific services you need to get your company up and running. That's it. Okay, now for the part you've been waiting for, the numbers. We're gonna do a quick fire round of the biggest discount figures we found, just so you can get a real sense of the savings here. So, the biggest number we came across? A massive 70%. Yeah, 70. That's their big headline-grabbing discount that applies across a bunch of different services. Now, if you're looking to form an LLC, and let's be honest, a lot of you are, this one's huge, 60% off. That is a serious chunk of change to save on one of the first big steps for any new founder. And it's not just about percentages. They've also got flat rate discounts. We found a solid $100 off deal that you can use on what they call select services or their get started packages. Okay, so this table right here lays out every key offer we could find. You can see the big ones we just talked about, that 70%, the 60% for LLCs, the $100 off. But take a closer look. You'll also see these really specific deals, like 35% off trademark registration or 15% off any plan. This gives you the whole picture of what's on the table right now. All right, so we've got all these numbers, but what do they really mean for someone who's just trying to get their business off the ground? Let's talk about how these discounts actually work in the real world. So this chart tells a really interesting story. It makes it super clear where ZenBusiness is putting its money. Look at that. Half of all the discount value is aimed right at LLC formation. That is obviously their main attraction. The rest gets split up between their subscription plans, trademark services, and a few other things. So let's break this down into some real situations you might face. Thinking about starting a new LLC? Boom, you can save up to 60% from day one. Need to protect your brand name? There's a 35% discount just for that. And if you're thinking long-term, you can get 15% off any plan or grab their Pro plan for just under $200 a year. The point is, these savings are designed for different moments in your startup's life. Okay, so these deals sound pretty sweet, right? But there's always a but. So what's the catch? Let's get into a balanced look at the good stuff and the little things you need to watch out for based on what the sources say. On the pro side, the variety is just fantastic. You're not locked into just one type of deal. You get percentages, you get flat dollar amounts, and some of these offers are seriously valuable. Plus, they cover all the key things you need when you're just starting out. But then you have the catches. And you really need to pay attention here. You're gonna see phrases like restrictions may apply, or for select services pretty often. But honestly, the biggest thing to remember is this, that advertised price is always plus state fees. Those are the mandatory fees your state charges, and no promo code is going to cover those. And don't just take our word for it. The source material itself gives this exact warning, and I'm quoting here. Please remember to verify the terms and conditions for each promo code on the ZenBusiness website, as some restrictions may apply. The message couldn't be clearer. You gotta read the fine print on any deal you're about to take. All right, so we've looked at the numbers, the use cases, the pros, the cons. What's the final verdict? Let's boil this all down to the one thing you need to know. Here's our final take. These ZenBusiness promo codes are the real deal. They offer some pretty substantial savings, not just a few bucks here and there. But the value is very targeted. The biggest, juiciest discounts are all aimed at one specific thing, getting your new LLC formed. If that's what you're doing right now, then these codes are absolutely worth your time. So, we've laid out all the data for you, we've shown you the deals. Now we want to leave you with one final question to chew on. With all these discounts on the table, which of these services offers the most value for the unique business you're trying to build? Because at the end of the day, that's the only answer that really matters.